Can you retire on only $100,000 in your investments? We're going to talk about that today, and we're going to show you 3 ways that you could potentially retire if you only have $100,000 in your investments. Now, for most people, we tell them it's probably not reasonable to retire if you only have that amount. But if you're really die hard, here's the way you can do it, and you can tell me if it's worth it for you to do or not. So point number 1 is this one you don't really have a choice of, but if you have a higher pension, then you may not need as much in your investments. For example, we have a client, they're getting $5,000 a month from their pension. That is a lot of money for them. They don't need as much to live on. They could technically retire with nothing saved up, and they would be able to live a really rich retirement, a really enjoyable retirement, because that pension is so high. And I did another video on how much a pension is worth, and people have loved that video. And so I'd recommend watching that if you have a pension, and you can see the value of having that. And hey, you may not need as much saved if you are going to be able to rely on that kind of pension moving forward. So if that's you, hey, you may not need as much saved up. Point number 2, and this is something you're going to have more control over if you want to retire early, and this is being frugal. So if you're able to be frugal and live on less than you have coming in, you're going to be successful. Something we always tell our clients, it's a joke, but it's kind of true, is if you really want to live in a cardboard box and eat ramen noodles every day, you can retire with nothing. You can live a great retirement if that's what you want to do. Typically, obviously, that's not the case, but you get the point that, hey, we only need as much as we're going to spend. And so if you're going to be pretty frugal and you're not going to spend as much, maybe we don't need as much for retirement. And so maybe you have Social Security. Maybe your Social Security is $2,000 a month. Well, can you live on less than that? Or is that not going to be enough? If you have $100,000 in investments, utilizing the 4% rule, which says, hey, we can probably take that amount out per year safely without running out of money over a 30-year period or so. Well, if we only have $100,000, we only can take out $4,000 per year. That doesn't really help us over time. So we'd have to really make sure we live under those guaranteed sources of income. If that pension I mentioned, if it's Social Security, whatever it may be, we need to be aware of that. The third way that you can retire on less than $100,000 saved up is if you just keep working. Yes, you can still work and be retired. We have many clients who are retired, but they still work part-time. And on many of our clients, they don't have to work financially. They're in a spot where they've saved enough money and they're in a good spot. But some of them enjoy the other sides of working, of being in front of people, being out and doing something rather than staying inside all day. And so some people find some purpose behind that, but it can also really help you financially, especially going back to the topic of this video, if you don't have as much saved up. If you just keep working and making $1,000 a month, and that's all you need to live on, well, you're going to find yourself in a better position if that's you. So those are the 3 things that I would advise you on. And if you can cross any of those 3 or one of those 3, hey, early retirement may be possible for you. Maybe you never thought it was possible, and maybe it could become a reality. But again, I want to be very clear, it may not be the most comfortable retirement if you're having to be frugal, if you're having to live under a budget, if you're having to continue to work. But how you retire is totally up to you. It's your goals, your dreams, whatever you want it to make it look, you can make it happen. And so we've seen clients where, hey, maybe money's less important to them and time's the most important thing. Well, maybe they retire early so they have more time to do what they want, spend time with grandkids, go on trips, travel, whatever that may look like for them. So that's what we would challenge you to look at there. So if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. You'll see a bunch of videos just like this moving forward.